What up, peeps? Welcome to today's vlog. Today is our day off that we decided to take for this week. After working on the website for so long, it's nice to have a day where I don't really have to think about it too much. So last night, I actually stayed up until like 6 o'clock in the morning. Since the website has been doing fantastic, like 100 times better than we expected. We have obviously a bunch of, we're making a bunch of sales. We have money coming in, and because the plushies and stuff seem to be doing so well. I understand we've only put up the first order yet on the website, but you know, a lot of them, even that we had 2 of each, have sold out. So I was going to be making more orders of plushies anyway. So I decided last night to do that, and I got 3 or 2 more orders in from the 2 different places that we order from. And then another really surprising thing is that those stress balls that we got, they are almost completely gone. We only have 2 red mushroom ones left out of all of them, which is crazy. There was 12 to begin with, and there's only 2 left. So I went ahead and ordered 2 more boxes of those as well. We've actually had messages from people asking if we're going to be getting more. It seems like Boo is the most popular one. So we do have 2 more boxes of those coming in. And then I also ordered some like of the Mario Pez dispensers, which I think that'll be pretty cool. It's just like a little cheap item to, you know, to kind of fill things out. And it's cool to have something that we can continually restock. You know, with, obviously it's a video game store, but with pre-owned games, you can't, like if you sell out of a game, you can't just go out and order 10 more to have them in stock. You have to either get them traded in, or you have to kind of seek them out. It's not, you know, it's not the kind of thing where you can just be like, oh, we sold out, reorder them, you know. But with the plushies and like the Pez dispensers and the little watches and all that kind of stuff, they're not huge money makers, of course, but I do think it's cool that we can kind of reorder that stuff and, you know, potentially always have them in stock. So that's what I did last night. I feel like there's a hair in my nose or something. It's itching me. But so yeah, the plushie orders that I made last night, we have some new stuff that I have not ordered yet coming, but I've also restocked on a couple things that we sold out of. The Luigi's Mansion ones are still not available, and somebody had asked about a Dragonite plush, which one of the places that we can order from does have them, but they're currently sold out. So I was going to get a couple of those, but unfortunately I can't. I'm going to have to wait till they restock. But definitely I'll be grabbing some of those when they become available. And then just some of the other ones that I anticipate selling really well, but we have not posted yet, I ordered more of. So like the Bulborb here, this is a huge plush, and to be honest, it's not one of the most expensive ones. So I got another Bulborb, I got another Waluigi because we only had the one and that sold. I also got a Wario one, which I didn't see the first time. Got another Bowser Jr. because that first one sold. Got another Shy Guy because that one sold. So I'm restocking on some of them. So that's kind of what I did last night. It's already like 7 p.m. I haven't really done anything today. We kind of woke up late, had some more of the noodles that I made last night as leftovers, and we've just been watching YouTube videos. Been watching one of the guys we watch that does gameplay stuff. His name's Partially Royal, and he's been playing a game. I honestly can't even remember what it's called, but it's like a crafting survival type game that it's like mechanic builder survival or something like that. But it has a lot to do with like building your own custom vehicles, and it's not like you're building a Toyota. It's like, you know, building with scrap parts and putting stuff together, and I've really been enjoying watching that one. So that's pretty much all we've been doing today. But I was reading comments from the vlog that went up earlier today, which would be yesterday's vlog for you guys. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about the new inventory system, because I've realized that, and it's not just you guys, it's, you know, Abby and Ryan as well. Everyone is getting the impression that this new inventory system is more complicated, more filled with bugs and issues, and there are just so many problems that we were not having before. And I wanted to kind of clear that up a little bit, because I feel like that's not a fair criticism. The videos that I'm releasing here, of course, if something goes wrong and I'm stressing about it, that's what I tend to talk about. When things are going right and they're going how they should go, it's not interesting, and I don't really end up talking about it very much. So I feel like we have given off the impression that this new inventory system is inferior to the previous one, and that is definitely not the case. With the last inventory system we had, it was called Gift Logic, and it is not made for a video game store. It's honestly not really even made to sell pre-owned products at all. It's made for like a grocery store or a department store or a clothing store, something like that. But we were able to make it work. And if you guys have been watching since way back then, you'll remember that we had a lot of issues with that system as well when I was first learning it. And that's how it is with anything. Anytime you try to learn a new software, obviously you're not going to know how to do everything right up front, and there's things to learn. There's shortcuts that you'll learn in, you know, after time and all that. And so with Gift Logic, there were plenty of issues, and some that we never got fixed and we always had to use some sort of workaround for. The main one had to do with customer trade-ins. There was not a feature that allows you to just take in a trade and give store credit or cash. The only way that we were able to do it was to basically do a return for an item that we had never sold, and you pay for it like that. So when we put store credit on someone's account, it was as if they were returning something and we were giving them store credit for it. So while it worked, it's not ideal, obviously. And then we had to manually add all the items to the inventory, manually put in the cost, manually put in the system it's for, and the game title, and the prices, and all this stuff. And that's why we always had tubs and tubs of stuff on the counters and behind the counters full of trade-ins that we haven't gotten to yet, because we had to do them all manually. With the new system, we do not have to do that. We've talked about it before, but as soon as you take in a trade, if someone is trading in this Mortal Kombat figure, if they bring this in, you know, we put it into the transaction on the screen, and we tell them what we can pay, and if they agree to it, we hit complete transaction, and it prints a sticker for this, and it's already in the system, and it's already on the website, and it's ready to be put on the shelf. The only time we wouldn't put something out right away is if it's a disc-based game. We have to check to make sure if it needs to be resurfaced or not. Or, you know, if it's a console or something else, it might need to be cleaned and stuff. But for the most part, as soon as you finish the transaction, the item is done. So no more leaving boxes of stuff behind the counter that we haven't gotten to yet. Nothing like that's going to happen anymore. And the way that we have been importing the current inventory into the new system, where we're using spreadsheets and stuff, we're not going to be doing that once we get everything done. That's only what we're doing at the very beginning, because we have a huge amount of bulk stuff to get imported, and we're able to export a spreadsheet from our old system, mess with it and make sure that it fits the template for the new one, and then import it. That's a lot quicker than going one by one scanning stuff. But when we're taking in trades, going one by one and scanning things in will be fairly quick. So it's going to be a lot better. And there's also a built-in feature to give store credit or to give cash. And the new system is literally built for a used video game store. So, like, everything is perfect. And, you know, not only that, but with Gift Logic, with the previous software, we paid a one-time fee up front. It was $1,500 to get the software, and I think that gave you like 6 months or a year's worth of support, basically. And there were many, many times after that where we needed help with something, and unless you're going to buy another 6 months of support, you can't really get that. So we had to just kind of fumble with it and make our way through and figure things out, which is not ideal. The new system, instead of paying a one-time fee, there is a monthly fee, and which is fine because you get unlimited support and you get to just text the developer or call him. I text with Chris every single day, and not all the texting is even about issues I'm having with the system. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, I noticed this, like, you know, I give him suggestions on things that I'd like to see added to the system. Or, you know, just the other day, I just was telling him, like, how good the website's doing and everything, and he went and checked it out, and he was like, yeah, it looks really awesome. Like, we weren't even talking about GameSmart at all. So it's really, really awesome to be able to have that kind of communication and that kind of help, because, you know, with Gift Logic, sometimes I would have to call and leave a voicemail if we're having a problem, and then I would get a call back a day or two later. But with Chris, I mean, as long as he's not sleeping or helping another customer, he gets back to me right away, which is awesome. So the fact that the system is built for a video game store means that we don't have to figure out workarounds to make things work like we did with our old system. You know, our old system, the department, like there was when you input an item, there's a section where you can put the department, the season, the color, the flavor, you know, all this kind of stuff. And we just had to kind of decide, like, okay, the department is going to be the system. You know, the flavor or whatever is going to determine whether it's a game, an accessory, or a console, or, you know what I mean? Like, we had to kind of just relabel those things in our minds, because you can't relabel them in the system. It always says flavor. We just know that flavor actually means something else. But in the new system, everything is accurate to video games and how it should be, and it's just so much better to work with it like that versus having to, you know, reconfigure everything about the software to make it work for what you're doing. It's better when it's just built for what you're doing initially. So it's much, much better. And there are issues with it. There are problems that we're having, but up until this point, we haven't had an issue that hasn't been able to be solved, which is great, because we always had issues with Gift Logic. Going back to the customer trade-in thing, with our customer account, basically with the customer account, for every $200 a customer would spend, and that's like not store credit but cash. So if they spent $200 with us, once they hit that $200 mark, when their receipt prints out with that last transaction, it will also print out a $10 off coupon, and they can use that on whatever they want in the store, which is great. The problem was that if they did trade-ins, it would negatively affect the amount. So let's say that someone came in and spent $100. I could go to their account and it would show that they've spent $100 of the 200. If they came in and spent another 50, then it would say they spent 150 of the 200. But if they then came in and traded in something and got $100, it would be back to saying that they only spent 50. You see what I mean? And sometimes it wouldn't even work like that. Sometimes it would be weird. It would be like, if they were already at 150 and then traded something in for 50, sometimes it would then say that they're at like 200 or 250 even. It was super weird. And it didn't work. It was terrible. And luckily, the majority of customers who do a lot of trades kind of understood that there was nothing we could really do about it. They understood, like, you know, I can't get the $10 off if I'm trading in a bunch of stuff and it's all messed up. With the new system, though, it's all fixed. The trade-ins do not affect that kind of stuff at all. And now with the new customer account feature, instead of having to spend $200 to get a $10 off coupon, now for every dollar that you spend, or every penny that you spend, I guess, you get 5% added to your account in store credit, which is awesome because it's all automatic. And the customers don't have to worry about carrying around a little coupon or you know, or whatever. It's just on their account. They have store credit. It's not even a coupon. It's actually store credit, which is awesome. So everything about the new system is just so much better, and it's great. I'm loving it, and I can't wait until we're done switching over all the inventory and we get to just use it how it's intended to be used, because right now we're doing a lot of, like, you know, developer type things where, you know, most people that use this software do not import stuff through spreadsheets the way that we are. Chris even told me, like, most people just scan them in one by one and do it that way. But for me, I was like, that seems like it would take a lot longer, you know, than doing it with a spreadsheet. Plus, we can export a spreadsheet from our old system. So is there a way we can do it? And he was basically like, I don't do this for everyone, but here's how you do it. And luckily, I at least have enough computer skills to know how to do that, or learn how to do that at least. I'm not a coder, but, you know, I'm able to navigate a computer at least. So I was able to learn how to do that, and, you know, and we've gotten it to work, and it's been working great. So I don't want people to watch our videos and then think GameSmart is complicated, or it's full of issues, or it's a bad inventory software. If you own a retro video game store, or if you are planning on opening one, I cannot recommend GameSmart enough over all the other ones that I've checked out. And trust me, at the beginning, I checked out a ton of them. I didn't just find Gift Logic and be like, oh, that's the one. You know, I looked at a bunch of different ones. And even before settling on GameSmart, I was looking at one called Vend. I also looked at one called Fulcrum and a bunch of other ones. And in my opinion, GameSmart is the easiest and the best one that I have personally used or seen. And I cannot recommend it enough. So if you're thinking about opening a store, or you're working at a store, or you own a store, and you're trying to switch systems, check out GameSmart. It is awesome. They'll give you a free 30-day trial, and there's all sorts of training videos. Plus, you know, you can text the developer and get help like that. So it's incredible, and I just don't want anyone to get the idea that it's not, because it really, really is. So I think that's enough rambling for me right now, guys, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it and just give my opinion on it, because I feel like we might be accidentally portraying it in a negative light, and I definitely do not want to do that. So let's talk a little bit about the website and the orders we've been getting and stuff. Just today so far, we've had another 13 orders. So we have a total right now of 153 that need to be shipped or picked up, because some of them are for local pickup. So we're not going to do this again, but just because it's a very unique and special time, we just launched the website. Obviously, for right now, the first few days, you get the most traffic that you probably ever will. So I'm actually going to tell you guys how much we have made off the website so far, which, please understand, I am doing this because I want to be honest and transparent with you guys. It is in no way to brag or show off. Of course, I'm proud of the website. I'm proud of the work we've been able to do to get it to where it is. But the amount of sales that we've had is not because of anything that I've done. It's all because of you guys. So it's been incredible. I don't want to say life-changing, but the amount of sales we've had in the past 4 days is, like, the only time we've ever had more sales than this is at PRGE. Even the first couple days that we opened the store was nowhere close to this. And obviously, with the website actually working, it's fairly simple for people anywhere in the world to buy from it. So obviously it's way different from physically opening the store where we only have local customers shopping. And even PRGE, people do travel for it, and there's a lot of people there that are there to spend money. and that's why that is so crazy. But it's been insane. And we've been very lucky up to this point to not have to dip into our savings for a down payment on a house to pay bills. We've almost just scraped by with eBay and Amazon sales keeping things afloat. And now with the website, it's not even a concern. So we have had a total of 225 orders placed, some of which were canceled or refunded, just a couple of them. And then a bunch of them we've already shipped out, like I said. We have had a total of 1,120 items purchased. And I'll show you this. I'm not making it up, obviously. But let me flip the camera around, and I'll show you where we're at. So I've got this little folder here just to cover up the sales for now so that we can make it more dramatic. But right there, 225 orders placed, 1,120 items purchased. You can see we've refunded 4 orders there. That's the total that you guys have been charged for shipping, which obviously is way too much, and we have been sending partial refunds for the difference in shipping for anything that's more than like 20 cents. So right above here, this is not accurate because it counts the days before we put the website live, but that's what it's showing for daily sales, which, like I said, is not accurate. And here we go. Gross sales includes tax and shipping, but that's $14,034.69, which is insane. You can see right here we still have 153 orders to work on as well. But that is crazy, guys. And it's all thanks to you. And it's crazy that it has happened this quickly as well, because obviously being open for a couple weeks at the store, maybe 3 to 4 weeks at the store, we could make that same amount. So it's not like an ungodly amount of money that we would never see. But it's only Thursday and we launched the website Monday with errors. I wouldn't even say that we really launched it until Tuesday evening almost. And in just that time frame, having 225 orders for, $14,000 is crazy. So I can't say thank you guys enough. And this will ensure, we knew from the beginning with the whole pandemic that, we're not going to have to close the store. We had enough money saved up to take care of things. And even if we had to dip into the money we have saved up for our house, we of course would do that. We're not going to let the store go under. So there was never any fear or any chance of the store having to close permanently, because we always have eBay and Amazon if we need it, and then we had so much in savings that we were going to be fine either way. But we got very lucky in that we didn't have to dip into that money that we're saving for the house. Like I said, it was always an option, and we were prepared to do that if we had to, but we didn't have to, which we are extremely lucky with, and we're extremely fortunate. And this amount of money right here, obviously it's all being put back into the store, aside from, the bills being paid and Abby and Ryan being paid. I'm pretty sure we've talked about it before, but I do not cut myself a paycheck from the store. I just make sure that all the bills here at home are taken care of. I just make sure that if I need food or if I need gas, I'm able to get it. And, that's pretty much it. I'm not, the money that the store makes goes back into the store. That's why you've seen us upgrade display cases and upgrade shelving and upgrading our inventory software and adding new products like plushies and whatever else we're doing. And the inventory has just grown and grown and grown and grown. And it's because we put as much back into the store as we possibly can. And this amount of money here not only will help to cover bills while we do remain closed and still make sure that we can pay Abby and Ryan, but it also is going to go into more inventory. So we have talked a little bit about not taking in trades for a while, and, you know, that is still the plan. We want to make sure that when we do start taking in trades again, it's done properly. Like, there's a lot of reasons why, of course, but just we want to make sure that we do it right. And we, you know, when stuff like this is going on, like the pandemic, it's obviously new to all of us. I don't think there's anyone involved with video games that has lived through something like this before. You know, people typically aren't restricted to their houses, and businesses aren't shut down like this, at least for this long. So, and at least on a, you know, a worldwide scale, I should say. Obviously, if you have a tragedy, if you have a, you know, a hurricane that destroys your town, obviously, you know, that's a huge deal. But just on a, you know, a nationwide or worldwide scale, this is not something that we've really experienced before. So it's all new, and everyone's learning how to, you know, how to function and all that. And so when it comes to us taking in trades, we can't necessarily do it the exact same way that we were doing it before we closed, because physically being open and having customers come in and browse, it allows for you to carry and sell items that may not ever sell on a website or online. Stuff like, and even if it's small things, they add up. So stuff like the Disney Infinity and Skylander portals, you know, we get those all the time. I find multiple at Goodwill almost every time I go to at the outlet. We pay nothing for them. They cost 69 cents per pound at the outlet. So I can get 3 or 4 of them for 69 cents. And we only sell them at the store for $5. They're super, super cheap. But we seem to sell quite a few of them because people, either the cable gets worn out, you know, the dog chews it up or whatever, or, you know, they decide to buy the game and they want to get some figures, and then they're like, oh, we need a Portal 2, Double Jump has them, they're only $5. And you can get them on eBay for about the same price. But when we have them locally and you can pick them up right away, it helps them to sell better. But I don't really ever see us selling those on the website. They're going to be on there, they're going to be available, but I don't really see it being an item that's going to move in that kind of, you know, area. So we can't necessarily deal with things the same way as we did when we were open. And part of that change is changing either how we are taking in trades, what we are paying for trades, or what we're taking, you know, just in general. Like, obviously, if someone contacts us with an Earthbound or a Mario game or a Pokemon game, we're always going to take it. But if someone contacts us right now and they are like, hey, I have a bunch of PS3 games, even if they want store credit, that's probably not something that we're too interested in right now, because, you know, that kind of stuff sells more when people can come and physically browse. And when people can't do that, obviously they're not going to sell as well. And that's, you know, a big stack of PS3 games on trade credit is definitely something we take in at the store when we're open. Especially if they're like, hey, I don't play these games anymore, I want to get other PS3 games. Yeah, definitely. But, you know, when it comes to the website, and if someone is like, hey, I want to trade in a bunch of PS3 games for store credit, and we can't really sell them, obviously we have to think about what we're going to do. So we are planning on taking in trades again very soon. The only reason that we're even doing it this quickly is because of the sales we've made from the website, and because you guys have helped us in this way. And obviously we need to make sure bills are paid, but we actually have some money to take in trades now, which is one of the issues we were having before as well. But we have a potential pretty cool trade coming from a friend of ours. that we will, you know, we'll talk about it and show it to you guys when we get it. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but it's really, really awesome stuff.
Hey-o.
And Abby just got back. Abby went to, where all did you go?
I went to Dutch Bros.
She went to Dutch Bros.
I went to the office.
And she went to the store to get her Switch. That's all?
Yeah.
You got Funyuns?
Yeah.
Ew.
I hardly ever like Funyuns, but I just felt like I really wanted Funyuns.
Give me one.
No.
I want to eat one.
You know what? I gave you cookies earlier, and you insisted on having them, and then you're like, I don't, I don't want them.
What'd you get for me?
Nothing.
She brings multiple things here and doesn't give me anything.
Yeah.
Rude.
I asked you if you wanted anything when I left, and you're like, nope.
No, you didn't. No. No. Not true.
No. True.
It's okay.